All right. So it is 7:01. We're gonna get started here. So it is 7:01. Oh, uh-oh. I've got a little feedback on my own headset. I got to figure out how to stop that. A little feedback on my own headset. I got to figure out how to stop that. All right. All right. Oh my gosh! I think I had Twitch open on a tab that I didn't see. Whoops. All right. So there was nothing wrong with my settings. I just was watching my own stream, and that was causing problems. Okay. Oh, that's better. That's definitely better. Let's. Yes. Wonderful. Good. All right. So a few minutes late, but that's okay. We are going to be starting tonight with the Road to Independence campaign here in Empire Total War. Now, this is not one that I ever did when I played the game the first time through. Empire Total War coming out in 2009. Oh my gosh, this game is 11 years old. What is that? Just that sentence baffles my mind. Gosh, I was getting my 2009. I was in grad school getting my second master's at that point. Oh, ew. Gosh, that's weird. I was living in Buffalo. Alright, well anyway. I never did the campaign when it came out because I am much more of a sandbox player. I very much enjoy having the ability to choose my own goals, my own objectives, and so I'm a big fan of, toss me into a game like Mountain Blade, or give me EU, something that lets me choose what I'm going to do, choose how I achieve victory, and don't have to be hamstrung into this other, set of things. But what I am going to do here is do this campaign, because I've been really sort of itching to play this, and there's just, frankly, not a lot of games about the American Revolution, which surprises me. It's such a defining moment in our national history, and yet it really does feel like video games just kind of skirt it. I mean, board games tackle it ad nauseum. There's phenomenal strategic level games, there's hex-based games, but as far as video games, I mean, I can probably count on two hands how many there are. And I know that there are scenarios that come from other games, like EU4 has an American Revolution scenario, but that's not necessarily the same thing. Like, I want a game that's systems are purposefully built to represent the revolution, and we don't really have it.
Our war on British tyranny begins tonight.
Oh.
In Boston, brave men fight for the right to govern themselves. Tonight, we fight for freedom. As I bear witness to the sacrifice of this generation, I take great comfort in the memory of our forefathers. Those pioneering men who traveled to these shores seeking a new life. Like the intrepid Captain John Smith and his fellow settlers, we too seek a new world.
Smith was a pardoned
Not only
mutineer.
for ourselves, but for future generations of Americans. As I look back on their endeavors, at the unknown dangers that awaited the pioneers over every rise and behind every tree,
Are we going to go with the narrative that John Smith was the good guy here?
in a much greater story.
Oh my. Whoa, whoa, lots of people yelling. What's going on? Ah! Okay, so...
Stay behind cover, men!
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, we've got Virginia colonists and John Smith. Oh gosh, oh gosh. Now I will say, I loved the Total War, the systems they designed for black powder combat were just phenomenal. And I wish they had done more with this, because it really was phenomenal. Alright, so here comes the bizarre training battle designed to get us into the game. This I do vaguely remember, because I sort of did this when it first came out. Jay Lyman, clearly. Oh gosh, now I'm being flanked! Oh, this is terrible! Colonists, you're just the worst. Good thing it's not very many men. Go, go. They're like walking in the open. Put a volley into them. Okay, good. There we go. A couple of them went down. I'm not even sure what like specific event this is supposed to be referring to. It might not be any. Oh my gosh, I can't deal with this. I can't handle the flanking. Run! Run! Refuse the line! Oh gosh, here they are. Face the proper direction. What was that little shuffle in place? That was ridiculous. And now shoot at them! You've got rifles. Oh good, 2 of you hit something. That's stellar. Chief Cheesecow? I don't know who that is. Oh, I know what that means though. Flashing white flags. Huzzah! So what happens if you lose on the training mission? Just a thought. I think the game uninstalls and you get a refund from Sega because you clearly aren't meant to be doing this. Yeah, nothing like a baptism by fire. Here, let's just throw you into a new system you haven't used before. Because I'll give them credit. This was very different than Medieval 2, right? You had to be able to deal with black powder weaponry and things like that. Oh shoot, I clicked continue, didn't I? No, quit the battle. Heroic victory! You're darn right. I'm the best at this. Right, that game was all about melee combat with some archers thrown in. But this was ranged combat. You needed to be able to handle dragoons and things like that. Oh, Jamestown. All right, so we're going back, huh?
From the very beginning, there have been hardships.
That's an understatement.
Losses. Brothers, fathers, sons lost to war.
Where is my pretty face tonight? Unfortunately, this is on my desktop, and I do not have a webcam for that yet. I actually went to get one today, and they were all sold out, so I have ordered one, and it should be here in time for next time. But you'll have to just be content with my lovely voice, and then you can ask yourselves, just how much clothes, am I wearing?
The wild land was not the only threat. The natives were a constant menace.
The natives were a menace.
Always ready for battle. It became obvious that until
Dulcet tones and not a stitch. One of those is correct. So Jamestown had the potential to be like the great catastrophe of colonization.
You must lead the early settlers to establish Jamestown as a safe and prosperous settlement in this dangerous new world.
Jamestown was neither
From time to
safe
time,
nor
The British
prosperous.
government will issue various missions to perform. As you complete these missions, The wealth and security of Jamestown will improve, and your influence throughout the whole of the New World will expand.
It's probably good you can't see my face because I am arching my eyebrow so hard right now. The British government will issue me missions. The British government had zilch to do with the founding of Jamestown. It was a bunch of wealthy merchants who chartered a private company. About the most that happened was King James said, "Yeah, sure, go, because I don't want you people in England anymore. Just get out of here. I don't care." They won't step in until much later. All right, but what should I do? What am I supposed to be doing here? A mission has been issued. I should build peasant farms. Well, sure, why not? Not that anyone's going to work at them, mind you. Jamestown goes through the starving time. Uh-oh, this is my army.
Represents the extent to which this army can move this turn.
I did always enjoy that sort of the splash of movement range. Like, here it is.
This is Jamestown.
Oh my gosh, is this going to happen the whole time? Oh, all right. So right off the bat, it doesn't go great, mostly because the foundation of Jamestown is set up with 104 men, and they are almost all either indentured servants or adventurers. They're here looking for gold and an easy time. They're not here to work, right? That's the curse of Adam. Men have to work and work and work, and you're never going to break that cycle. And that was how the Virginia Company was pitched to these would-be adventurers was, oh, the new world, you can break the curse of Adam. There's the milk and honey and all this great stuff. And then they get there, and John Smith goes, oh, you just be quiet. John Smith is like, oh, yeah, by the way, you need to work really hard. Like, I want you guys up early. You're going to be digging wells. You're going to be sowing crops. And the settlers were like, nah, we don't really want to do that. All right, let's see here. Right now I have no farm, and I need a farm. So we're going to go ahead and build one. Oh! Yeah. What else is there then that I can do? Nothing. I could recruit some troops, but I don't need any at the moment.
There is often a choice of building.
Oh, gosh. Ooh, so I can go with a cotton plantation or a tobacco plantation. If it's going to be Virginia, it's got to be tobacco. But that would also be super anachronistic because tobacco doesn't really happen till like 1619. But that's okay. That's okay. I did it! I built a peasant farm. How exciting. And now we're growing food. Although historically we didn't. Our main long-term survival strategy was to just basically trade with the natives. AKA to just take things from the natives. A new mission has been issued. Build a fishery. That's also funny. Because Virginia... when they settled Jamestown, they were not thinking about sustainable agriculture or fishing. What they were thinking about was the Spanish, and that the Spanish are nearby, and that if the Spanish find out that the English are thumbing their noses at the Treaty of Tordesillas, which granted the Spanish full control of this half of the Western Hemisphere, that they were going to come and burn the colony to the ground. So Jamestown is settled way, way, way upriver, right at the part where you can't drink the water because it's too brackish, and you're not taking advantage of the bounty of the Chesapeake Bay because you're trying to hide yourself and be defensible, but you also don't have access to the real good freshwater fish that you find further upstream. So it's in a spot with bad water and not enough food, and they're all like patting themselves in the back. They're like, we did it! All right, but here we go. A fishery, and if it's gotta be tobacco, if it's Virginia. I refuse to play any other way. What could go wrong with that plan? Exactly. All right. So my fishery is still working. My tobacco plantation is still working. And John Smith, just go back to Jamestown and hang out. Crowd and country. That's kind of fun to do. Here we go. Mission successful. Construct building. You're darn right. I did it.
Oh, you have successfully built a peasant farm with a local fishery.
You've successfully built a peasant farm. She's so happy.
Prosper. So it's time to deal with the threat from local native tribes. Your next compulsory mission is to capture the village of Werowockenlock.
Your mission, and you have no choice but to accept it. So this is one of those sort of moments where, for the simplicity of gaming, they streamlined a bunch of things that were historically quite complex, and that was the Powhatan Confederacy. So the leader of the Powhatan, which we tend to say the leader's name as Powhatan, the same way we might call, like, the Duke of Suffolk, even though that's not his name. His actual name was Washuhenako, and he had formed this powerful state in the Chesapeake, basically a coalition of 40 other native tribes that had been beaten into submission and brought in with gifts and violence, and the ink on this new power dynamic is very, very wet when the Jamestown settlers show up. So immediately everyone starts thinking, like, okay, what do we do here? How do we incorporate these people? How do we use these people? Oh gosh. The mission has been issued. We need colonial militia before we do anything else. Okay. So for Washuhenako, he sees these new arrivals, and they kind of are settling on, like, the worst land possible, and he's like, okay, I'm not really too concerned because I'm so powerful. And if anything, I want to incorporate them into my confederacy because I have enemies, inland. Like, the farther you go into sort of modern Virginia and the Chesapeake, you have tribes that are not under his sway. And you have tribes that are not happy with it. They're coming courting, trying to figure out, okay, these new weird guys from across the sea, can we use them in any way to get out from under the Powhatan's control and what have you? Okay, so they want me to recruit some colonial militia. Those are Jamestown settlers. There's colonial militia.
You have entered a unit into the recruitment queue.
You have entered a unit into the recruitment pool.
Yes, my lord.
And so one of the things that you can easily miss is that a lot of these early settler-native conflicts are actually native-on-native conflicts, with the settlers playing sort of bit parts. We tend to, because the United States is descended directly from the colonial forebears, we tend to focus on sort of the role that the colonists play, and we sort of forget that it takes a long time before the colonies become something that is capable of standing up to and attacking the established native groups. And so there should be, indigenous peoples on Smith's side here looking to get one over on the Powhatan and so forth. But, for gameplay purposes, it's easier to just boil it down, Powhatan and, Virginia. Okay, so let's wait a turn, get our new settlers. Congratulations! I am the best at following simple directions. Here we go. There's my army. Marching to catch up with the other army. Aha! Now, go and attack this thing here. Werowokomo? Okay. Haha! Besiege them.
They hide behind women's skirts.
Oh my. So not only are we making fun of them, but we're using a gendered dynamic to do so. That seems nice. So the whole thing with Jamestown and John Smith that we tend to remember is the story of Pocahontas, which was a really elaborate ritual involving Smith and Sunako. So basically, they are not star-crossed lovers. Smith is nearly 40 years old. Pocahontas is 10 when she meets him. What this was a ritual that was intended to display at once the power of the Powhatan chieftain, but also his mercy, his magnanimity, because anyone can represent brute strength. I simply hurt you. There we go. But it takes a little more panache to demonstrate that you have mercy, that you are level-headed and temperate. And the lesson is simply completely lost on Smith. This is one of those moments where cultures can completely talk past one another, because the Powhatan believe by getting ready to have you executed and then not through the intervention of one of my children, I am showing that I am a man of probity and wisdom, and by granting you mercy, because only someone who has the power to do otherwise can offer you mercy, right? Only someone who has the power to hurt you can grant you mercy. I'm demonstrating both my power and my rule. And Smith is like, holy cow, like, God saved me. I'm so awesome. This is great. I was destined to not have my brains blown out by this guy. And so they kind of miss little wires there.
Target under siege, sir.
Not long later, continue the siege, big time. Not long later, you have a couple of other things that happen, namely a fleet carrying more people shows up, but they run into a hurricane in the Atlantic, and one of the really crucial ships, the one carrying all the food, ends up running aground in like Barbados. And so you've got more mouths to feed and no supplies. So in the fall of 1609, there's 500 people at Jamestown, almost all men. That winter we call the Starving Winter.
Oh, you have successfully
Oh, you have done so well. Now what am I supposed to get? Shakamaxon. Okay. So that winter is the starving time. Too many mouths, the water's bad. And oh, by the way, this is my other favorite thing. When the Jamestown settlers show up, tree ring data tells us that the region is going through the worst drought in 80 years. The worst drought that the region had ever seen in 80 years. And then here comes Smith and company sailing into the bay like, oh, this is great, right? So the Powhatan are also suffering because drought affects them too. They don't have as much stuff to give. The settlers keep going back to them saying, we need more food, we need more food. And eventually the Powhatan cut them off. They start burning their houses in order to stay warm, which only creates a shelter problem. They eat the animals. They, in some cases, there's a couple cases where they resorted to cannibalism. Ooh, we're going to repair this. What is this, a horse breeder? Wow, Maryland horses. What a time to be alive. All right. I feel like I need more reinforcements if I'm going to try and go tackle something in modern Pennsylvania. By the spring of 1610, there are only 60 people left out of a population of 500. 60 people left. They are done. They are bailing on Jamestown. They actually do abandon it. So they blow off one of John Smith's testicles. They pack up their boats and they sail down the James River to the Chesapeake. As they are getting to the mouth of the Chesapeake, they come across a fleet that's being sailed by Thomas West, otherwise known as Baron Delaware. He is coming to become the new governor. He's got a doctor with him. He has food, supplies, and more colonists. So Delaware forces the Jamestown survivors to turn around and go back, which is not popular, but it guarantees that the colony survives and begins to turn things around. So Jamestown is that close to becoming, I realize you can't see me use my fingers, but it's that close, you can picture it, to becoming another Roanoke, just an abandoned colony that Delaware shows up and is like, there's no people here, I wonder where they all went. Like, they could have missed each other by a matter of hours. Alright, so let's see here, where's my reinforcements? Got my army, you march up and join John Smith. Whoa! Okay, you are zealous. Get on up there. Oops. All right. You merge with him. There we go. Now we got a proper army. Let's head on up and finish this scenario. Get us out of colonial Virginia, because it is an awful place. It is a silly place. There's a fun little stat I like to throw out every now and then when we talk about sort of colonization as this grand adventure and this, that, and the other. By 1616, 80% of this... Oh! Ambush! An ambush! Oh, check... Kenna! Oh, gosh. I stumbled right over that one. That's Pocahontas' uncle. That's the brother of the Powhatan chief. Opech Canau. He, by the way, has led a very fascinating life. He's born 1544. He's captured by the Spanish on a coastal raid of Virginia. He trains to be a Jesuit in Spain. becomes known as Don Luis de Velasco, travels the Spanish Empire, returns around 1570 to the Chesapeake. Once he returns, he obviously breaks with the Spanish priests, returns to his traditional beliefs. He is the guy who actually fights and captures John Smith, and later is the guy who will lead a brutal attack on Virginia that kills something like 1/4 of Virginia's white population. He is finally hunted down by the Jamestown colonists and killed on what is allegedly his 100th birthday. This guy's something else, right? And it's one of those things also to remember, like, I'm sorry, The Expanse, but no, when the ships arrived, the natives literally could not see them because they had no idea what they were doing. This guy had been to Spain, all right? They had someone who had crossed the Atlantic twice, who spoke Spanish. He spoke English. Like, he was actually instrumental in some of the early interactions because he understood these people and knew who they were. They didn't think they were aliens. The natives understood the world was larger than they could see around them, and he's a great example of that. I absolutely love his story, and here he is in the game. Sorry, dude, though, I gotta hurt you. You're interfering with me, and this is a compulsory mission. I don't have a choice. I gotta do it. Anyway, that stat I was mentioning. By 1616, 80% of the settlers who had arrived at Jamestown are now dead.
A straight line of units is not always the best formation.
Straight line of units. Yes, between 1607 and 1616, you had a 1 in 5 chance of surviving had you arrived in Jamestown. This is not a grand adventure. This sucks. This is brutal, and it's hard. Alright. I won't lie, the interface they came up with for the battles in this game was just superb. The ability to increase your rank, increase your file, to change your facing, to advance, to march backwards, like, they did such a good job with it, and it really lent itself well to gunpowder, sort of Age of Revolution type units. Ugh. So it's that attack I was talking to you about happens in 1622. It's the Great Massacre. 347 Virginians dead, 1/4 of the population, and it's rough. But the Virginians rally. They organize themselves into an army, and they basically exact a terrible revenge on not just the Powhatan, but basically any surrounding tribe. Anyone who was not a white Virginian was very much a suspect other to them, and they largely depopulate the people here. It's rough. But the one thing it does do, this 1622 massacre, is it gets the attention of the English crown, who are finally like, what on earth is going on over there? So in 1624, the crown takes control of Virginia. And so Jamestown becomes a royal colony with a royal governor. And the rest is largely history. The private company that was created gets absorbed by the English government. This is not the British Empire. We're still a century away from that at this point. But they get absorbed by the English government right as the colony is starting to become profitable. Because in 1619, the headright system means that, oh my gosh, this is the slowest battle ever. The headright system means that people are going to Virginia, they're settling down, they're growing a cash crop that's in high demand in Europe. So the colony is finally making money, it's starting to turn around, and then the late unpleasantness with the natives happens, with the Powhatan chieftains, with Washusinico's brother, and the English crown's like, all right, enough. We're stepping in. Enough of this. Ah! They're shooting like arrows at me. I don't like it. Get him! Get him! Full volleys! Alright, here we go. Here we go. Oh gosh, they're coming for the flank, and that's where one of my weakest units is. Refuse the flank. Go quickly. Don't let them get around you. And you two, swing this way. Keep the fire on. Hurry up. Get situated. Good. Powhatan warriors are coming. Ah, why did you choose to shoot at them? Good heavens. Okay, good. Hit them in the flanks. The music is very intense. That's it. Haha. Oh gosh, they're still coming. Good. Lovely volleys here. Powhatan bowmen. Powhatan warriors. The bowmen are just picking away. My poor colonists are just struggling here. But they're starting to break. They're starting to break. Their morale's wavering. Yeah, there's little flashes. There's little flashes. I like what I'm seeing. Swing around here. No, 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 no. You and you. Form up a new line here, just in case they come back. And you counter march behind, because we're going to need to get some pressure on my poor militia. I can't believe these guys are holding their own. This last group's got to go. Come on, get moving. There we go. I like it. They're starting to break. They're wavering. Not bad for colonial militia. Your line's a little bungled, but that's okay. And now, get him a volley. Oh, for gosh sakes. Like, they would have fired all at the same time. This staggered fire drives me insane. Oh gosh, they're coming back. They're coming back. What's the line from Gladiator? People should know when they're conquered. All right. New men form that way, just in case they come back, and I guess come on back here. Since apparently my militia is super eager and is going to follow them all the way to the end. You know what? Just charge. Keep it going.
Enemy cavalry are readying an attack on the flanks of your already engaged infantrymen.
What?
Either
Where?
pull them back or commit other troops in support.
Where? I don't see any cavalry. What are you talking about? Oh, well, doesn't matter. I won. I was going to say, I didn't think he had any cavalry in his army. Ugh. Yeah. All right. Burst through that little scenario there.
Your Majesty?
Take ready. Oof. I'm not actually super confident about... here we go. Replenish these guys. Anything to build down here? No, life is good. Okay. Oh gosh. There he goes. So it's really tobacco. Oh, what's this? Hustings. Carry out the mandate of the voters is likely. There are no voters here. This is a Johnocracy.
Engage them.
Oof. All right.
Target on the
Siege.
shield, sir.
Let's see what happens.
Enemy fleet ahead.
Oh gosh. Enemy fleet ahead. That's a weird glitch. Well, I can't retreat. Well, I guess we're doing this. Oh gosh. All right. We might be restarting that one because I think this battle is gonna hurt. So tobacco is what saves Jamestown. It really does. This is where the vision of John Smith takes root because they grow it everywhere, right? They're growing it in the streets. They're growing it in the fields. It's in people's backyards. They actually have to pass laws stipulating that a certain amount of acreage be set aside for food production because they are so adamant on growing tobacco. Here's the problem. You can't eat it. It has no nutritional value. So, yeah, that's all right that you're making a lot of money and, like, we can just buy food, but that doesn't work if the food's not, coming or it doesn't arrive timely. So there's more than a few instances where they're having to basically pass laws being like, yeah, we get that you want to make money, but you gotta grow the food. Sorry. I have no idea where the natives are going to come from, so we're just going to do this. Oh gosh, they're coming from all sides. I'm not sure what's coming from that direction, but from behind me seems to be what's left of... Oh, gosh, it's nothing. Alright, Smith, go deal with them. Rich people in England start taking advantage of the headright system that was established, and so what they start doing is coming over, and for every, basically, servant you brought with you, you got a certain acreage of land. And what this does is it creates really the first families of Virginia because the wealthiest people around are able to bring over tons of unfree labor. Now we're still not really slaves at this point. It's still very much servants. But what they're doing is they're creating these massive estates with easy access to the Chesapeake because the Chesapeake Bay has tons of rivers and inlets and things that feed it. And they're all getting gobbled up, all this great land. The amount of tobacco production skyrockets. From 1624 to 1680, the production of tobacco goes from 200,000 pounds annually to 30 million. As the European market gets saturated, it's actually going to cause problems that will affect Virginia because they're basically oversaturating the market and the prices are going to drop precipitously, which means that only the wealthiest people are going to be able to grow tobacco in sufficient quantities to have any real meaningful impact. Everyone else is going to be largely shut out of the international tobacco trade. And then in, 1676, there's a massive civil war. John Bacon burns Jamestown to the ground, and the colony's never quite the same after that. Here we go. Chase these guys out of here. Was that some bowmen? A couple of other guys. Get rid of them. While we continue to wait for the attack that's coming, I guess. I have no... Where are these guys? Oh! They're, like, outside the map. That's weird. Yeah, chase these guys off the map, just for good measure. I don't want them coming back. And you guys just hold out here, I guess. We'll stay at the native village and... Oh, here's the other sort of fun stat that you might be interested in. In 1607, we estimate that there are 25,000 native inhabitants of the Chesapeake region. So 1607, 25,000, at a time when Jamestown numbers about 104. By 1669, it is down to 2,000. So I want you to understand, that's within people's lifetimes. That's 62 years. from 25,000 to 2,000, most of which lost to warfare and disease. It's the reason why people like Washun Sinako and Opechik Akano go on their rampages, because they are watching their literal livelihood vanish, right? This is not, oh, we're not the most powerful people in the region anymore. It's our way of life is vanishing. We will die if we don't do something now. And they basically had three options. Door number one, assimilate and cultural suicide. You simply lose who you are in the interests of staying alive. Door two, relocation, which is a door that the US will pick again and again for native peoples, whether or not they wanted it. But the trouble is, moving, there's nowhere to go. West of the Piedmont, you've got native groups that have traditionally hated the Powhatan and are as likely to wipe you out as the Virginians. Door 3 is war. But by the time these groups tend to choose it, and this is a pattern that repeats itself throughout the colonial era, by the time these groups choose war, it's too late. The colonists have grown too strong. They're able to protect themselves, and whatever chance of a victory that they had had is gone. This happens in the Chesapeake with the Powhatans. This will happen in New England with a number of different groups that will try to kick the Puritans out and will end up paying terribly for it. It's a tough pattern, and you hate to see it. All right, Smith, you got to turn around. You got to come back. All right. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, this is going to take the rest of my life. Hurry it up! Get down here, natives. Get down here so I can shoot at you and drive you off, because the mission requires me to. Oh gosh, here they come. Oh gosh. A lot more of them than there were before. Smith, you might... Oh my gosh. Smith! I've made a terrible... I've made a huge mistake. Tell you what. Let us consolidate our power back here. Force them to come at me through a couple of narrow ways. And you're going to go about this quickly, because time is not on my side. Quicker than that. Thank you. Run. Run even faster. Ah! They're shooting arrows at me. Oh, Smith. Sorry, Smith. Come this way. Because I have a feeling like my poor guys over here are not going to last. Alright, first come this way. I'm tiring this poor guy out. I know, Smith, I know. I'm so sorry. Alright, they're in range. And actually, they're the only ones in range. I should concentrate. The one thing that drives me nuts about this game is that only the front rank ever fires, and that's just not how these units fought. The whole point of being in multiple ranks was that you can lean between the guy in the front ranks to have the second rank fire. That was incredibly common. These guys wouldn't just be standing back there waiting for their turn. Like, you would have the whole group shooting. Oh, good, it's working. That group is starting to go. Ah! Oh, gosh. Why is this just... Alright, change my mind, Smith. You're going back this way. Most indecisive commander ever. But, these armed tribesmen are going to make life difficult. Okay, they're at, like, half strength now. That's good. That's good. Also, well, they have a really... Oh, man. They are getting shot down left and right, but they are putting a hurt on some of my guys. Ah! Powhatan Confederacy, they are losing. Smith is a skilled close combat commander. Okay. Oh, good. Good. Ugh, that didn't work. Alright, you come here. You come here. You go here. I need to give those poor guys in the middle a break. I'm not sure why they attacked me in this, like, strung-out manner. Smith, get back to your position. If they come again, they come again, but... Powhatan Bowman. That unit's shattered. Good. They're giving up the ghost. Oh gosh, these guys are back. Oh gosh, here they come. Here they come. More bowmen. $77. Yes, good. Shoot. Shoot! You turn that way. Where on earth are the other two? They're like way back there. That's fine with me. They're the attacker. They have to come to me. Don't know what they're doing, though. Good. Okay. Come on. Oh, this is going to take the rest of my life. This is like the slowest battle ever. Just get all the natives here at once so I can win. Oh, I spoke too soon. Now they actually are coming. Question is, are they all going to funnel through here? Or, oh, where are you guys going? No, they're coming around this way. That's fine with me. Put some shots into them. Gosh. I need you guys to shoot more of them. That's a wave of human bodies coming. Oh my gosh. Get in there and support them. Do not leave poor... Gosh, yeah, they really outnumber Smith. These Powhatan Bowmen here. They're losing, under attack by 3 simultaneously. That's good. My gosh, there's more? This is never ending. Oh, okay. It's okay. It's okay. I got this. Whew. Good. They've shattered. Alright, back to your old position, basically. I want that corner completely covered in case they come that way again. Ugh, you guys just haven't gotten the message, have you? It's done! It's over! Go home! Jeez, this group here has seen better days. Well, to be fair, the Powhatan did kill, like, 340, and then when the chief's brother revolted a second time, 22 years later, he kills another 500 Virginians. Like, this was a rough time to be alive. Oh my gosh, they're behind me! What on earth is happening? You! Shoot at him! You! You're out of bullets. Good heavens. Shoot at him. And you, shoot at him. You two, about face. Oh, gosh. Go, 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 go. Drive him off. Drive him off. All right. What, what is left of my guys? You two are in the best shape and have the most ammo. Put you two here. You three. Stop. You're basically just good for nothing. Out of bullets. You're just gonna act as backdrop for them. But everyone needs to be doing everything they're doing faster. Oh gosh, I got them way too close. Fire? Nope. Wait, what? Why are they just walking? This is the slowest combat ever. Ah, you know what? Everyone who's alive, just attack. Oh, that's weird. Wait, John Smith was killed. Oh, God. Wait, something is glitching out. Why won't it let me select? That's bizarre. Something seems to be glitching. Why won't it let me do anything? Alright, come on. Finish them off. It's one unit, and it's just kind of standing there. They're losing decisively. There can't be anyone else left alive, right? There can't be anyone else left alive, right? Oh good, we have some sort of glitch happening. Ugh, please don't make me redo this battle. This has been like the longest battle in the history of time. Yeah, and like, just go and stand on them or something. Finish them off. Where is this last group that I'm not seeing? Huh, last time I did this, it did not, it was not this, problematic. Alright. Get to stepping. We gotta find this last unit and finish it off. Otherwise, I have to sit here until this clock expires, and I will just cry myself to sleep if that happens. Alright, where on earth is this unit? Oh my gosh, it's back there? Are you kidding me? And again, it doesn't seem to want to let me target them. You guys are killing it, Sega. Keep up the good work. Creative Assembly, you're doing great. Which is not a remark I make only slightly facetiously, because I actually really love this game series. I'm a big fan of the Warhammer one they've done. I really like the some of the others. I really am loving Three Kingdoms. That one is an absolute blast. Charge! Yeah, I'm trying. It doesn't seem to want to let me. Nor does it seem to want to acknowledge that these men are here. Oh gosh, my formation gets really wonky if I tell them to move. Go, 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 go. So this is the battle from hell. We have just a bunch of guys standing around who won't interact with these in any way, shape, or form. They refuse to acknowledge that the other side exists. Oh, I need like a times 10 speed because this is obviously not going to end. And if I quit, I'll have to do this all over again. Let's all go to the lobby. Maybe they'll shoot at them from the building. Get in the longhouse. Are they going to shoot out the windows at them? They just know the way of the ninja. That they cannot be seen because they move so slowly. Yep. Apparently my men are just T-Rexes because their vision is based on movement, and the natives have figured out how to just not be detected by me at all. Love these like formation shapes it's trying to give me. It's like, oh, did you mean this? Like, no, but I'll do it anyway because it looks fun. Oh my gosh, how much longer of this? Normal speed 20 minutes of this. I can't. This is insufferable. I gotta... I gotta do this again. That was just a bizarre glitch, and I have learned something though. I am not ooh. Will they accept surrender? They probably won't accept surrender. So I'll break the siege, and I'll give these guys a chance to heal. And I clearly need more troops. Where on earth are you retreating to? That's so far away. Let's get another one of each. Where are you going there, bud? Okay, here we go. We got some... There we go. We got some recruitment. You pick up the recruits. More recruitment. Can't march as far. Okay. Now that's much better. Humble servant? Alright. Womp womp. Yeah, I couldn't. That was just terrible. Oh, seriously? You're like a foot away from him. Yes, this one I will gladly fight, because after I defeat you in the field, the city is going to be defenseless. Assuming it doesn't do what it just did again. Because that was terrible.
Some units are masters of concealment.
No, some units
They
are
can make
masters
themselves
of
almost invisible.
concealment. We call them ninjas. They're masters of the ways of magic. Let's stretch out. I'm not sure where they're going to be coming from, so let's go ahead and just get a little staggered line, and we'll readjust as needed. This should go much more straightforward.
Horse artillery has an advantage in mobility.
Horse
over
artillery?
other
It's
artillery.
1607. I don't even have bayonets on my guns. Can you back off with your fancy tech speak there, sir? Yeah, I got nice overlapping fields of fire. Smith, get over there. You guys are doing just fine. Little flank action. Alright. Okay, then there's some Powhatan. Whoop. But there are more. Whoa! Alright, we're going to defeat this first group, and then we are going to fix the lines. That's a group of 3. We are just going to fix the lines. Ooh. If I go up here, he'll have to come up after me. And then I've got just a delicious position that I can funnel him into. Yes, yes. I like this. Come on, get thin. Nope, not gonna work. I'll have to put him somewhere else. Nope, that's not the formation I was looking for either. None of this is right. Alright, let's try just... Sure, that there. Oh gosh, everything happened too fast. They like rushed at us. Okay, changed my mind. I got too creative. Everyone just charge. Beat them to death with your bare hands if you have to. This is a nightmare. I forgot that I left it on speed 3. Why does anyone watch me do anything? I'm terrible at everything. Ah! God, the speed, it's so fast. Turn it down. There, get him. Club him. This battle's gonna be over in like 3 minutes. This is the fast. Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? Shoot at them. You've got rifles on your guns. Shoot. Get moving! Get moving! Never mind, I'm not going to lure them up onto the cliffs because we did this instead. Now, they're all currently running for the hills. I'm sure at some point some of them are going to rally. But maybe not. Are you kidding me? Those 3 guys are still alive? Oh. Are you serious? Oh, there we go. That was so much faster. That's right.
As population growth is slow here, it is recommended that you upgrade farms or
They
bring
refuse
low-class
my
taxes
surrender.
down.
However, this is going to be...
Increasing the food
Yeah,
supply
no-brainer.
and net income of the layman will reduce the
Oh, thanks to my
mortality
effort,
rate.
colonization is successful. Oof, that first fight was a little, a little rough.
As time went by, hostilities between the natives and settlers began to fade, and more ships came.
Wait, what? Hostilities between the settlers and the natives began to
Over the next
fade?
100 years,
There weren't any natives left.
and the fight for territory began. Both the British and the French set their sights on the valuable Ohio Valley. And when the French built a line of forts across the valley, I was sent to demand the instant withdrawal.
Well, that's why it faded. Yep, I suppose it's true. You can't be angry at people who don't exist anymore.
Sending an army under General Braddock to take the valley by force. I was unlucky enough to be an officer in that army. Braddock's limited knowledge of his surroundings and his refusal
You weren't
to
really
listen
an
to
officer,
counsel
you were an
led to
unpaid
his
aide,
downfall.
because you were so desperate to be a British officer that you volunteered to be Braddock's errand boy rather than serve with your own militia unit. But it's fine.
Our men were massacred.
I also like that we just jump right past Washington's disastrous first command at Fort Necessity, where he gets his entire command captured.
Tactics and cunning employed by their native allies. Use of these warriors and their knowledge of the land would prove to be the key to claiming the Ohio Valley.
So Fort Duquesne was built in
The French have established a
1754.
series of forts
It's,
in the Ohio Valley. These forts are well defended and will be difficult
It sits
to
at
take
the
to a military
confluence of
force
three
alone.
rivers. Goes by a different name today. All right. Objective: befriend the Iroquois Confederacy. All right. So let's see. What do we got here?
Yes,
Oh, Sir William Johnson, Superintendent to Native Americans in the Northern Department. What a fascinating figure he was. And young George Washington, who, had been so eager to serve with the British that he actually volunteers himself multiple times for the British Army, and they keep turning him down because he is a continental and can never be a gentleman. It was actually his number one goal in life. He wanted to be a colonel in the British Army, but to rise anything above the rank of captain required nobility and pretty much had to be bought, so wasn't going to happen. All right, so actually, William Johnson starts off with a great-looking army here. 6 regiments of foot, some colonial militia, couple bit of rangers, good for forest fighting. I think he's all set to go. Let's have him get to stepping. Let's see, so where is it? There's Fort Duquesne, where Braddock met his untimely demise. Well, let's get on our way. Can actually get pretty far. Washington, you don't have to come with. You can stay. Fort Cumberland, yeah.
Awaiting further orders.
Ah, yes, capture the fort. Alright, let's see here. Where's that Iroquois Confederacy? Well, I definitely want some trade. How about an alliance? Ah! They said yes!
Now that you have negotiated an alliance with the Iroquois, you will be able to recruit native warriors to bolster your armies.
Goody. Alright, Washington, why don't you just go to Williamsburg? Hang out. So yeah, what happens is that New France isn't the only one who had a claim on the Ohio River Valley. Virginia wanted it too. And so what happens is Washington's 21 years old. He's a major in the militia. And the lieutenant governor of Virginia, Robert Dinwiddie, sends him on an expedition. Washington goes to out to the frontier. Keep in mind, this is the White Empire's frontier. This was like the natives' front yard, but this is their frontier. And G-Man G-Sides is now following. Thank you so much for the follow. And the French pretty much tell Washington to suck an egg. He's like, I'm here on behalf of the colony of Virginia who claims this land. And the French are like, yeah, that's cute, but we're standing on it. So, piss off. And he comes back and he writes this ridiculously lengthy book about his adventures. And it's a smash hit. I mean, the Journal of Major Washington makes him a celebrity on both sides of the Atlantic. Everyone is reading this. And it's actually a very interesting travel log. It really is a great primary source because he details the land, the people he meets. He's got copies of the letters giving him his command, like all of this. So Washington gets a huge promotion. He's bumped up to lieutenant colonel, and Dinwiddie gives him a new task. Go back and kick ass. So Washington goes back. He's got a group of about 160 French militiamen, and he manages to surprise a small group of Frenchmen who are shadowing him. So he doesn't have his full force. It's like 40 guys for him, like 18 for the French. And they come to a head, and oh gosh, here we go. William Johnson, get up there and siege Fort Duquesne. Oh yeah. Continue the siege. If they want to face me, they'll have to walk out of there. And while they're talking, their officer, who's an ensign named Joseph de Jumonville, Washington's translator, an Iroquois leader named Tanagrishan, or the Half-King, walks up to Jumonville and splits his head open with a hatchet, and then reaches into his skull and symbolically washes his hands with the Frenchman's brain. So this is absolutely horrifying and starts a battle between the Frenchmen and the Virginians, which the Virginians win. And Washington writes about it, and it's like the most ridiculous description ever, because he's like, oh, the fire was hot and thick on the left flank. Left flank? Dude, there were like 50 people involved at best. Like, you calm it down. You are not Caesar at Alesia, or you're not Alexander at Gaugamela, okay? Like, this is a backwoods forest running gunfight, but, you know, he tells it like it's the Battle of Gettysburg. Right before the Half-King splits open Jumonville's head, he calls him father. Now, this is a title in native cultures, and it refers to the fact that the French had a policy of gift-giving, and the natives tended to call them, you know, father, and this, that, and the other. Well, this is the Iroquois explaining in no uncertain terms that they are breaking their neutrality with the French and are siding 100% with the British. Gets written about. There's accusations that Washington's actually a war criminal because of all of this. But what ends up happening is word gets back to the French, who are pissed. And Washington sends word back to the Virginians that, hey, so I've started something out here, might have killed some Frenchmen, and I need help. So the French at Fort Duquesne and others mobilize and come after Washington. Ha! They didn't sally out of the fort. This group is so screwed. And actually, as far as Washington, let's start building a proper army for him. What has he got? A couple militia? That's just not going to do. Definitely needs rangers if he's going to be engaging in any sort of Virginia backwoods fighting. And so a much larger French army sets off to try and confront Washington. And Washington doesn't want to fall back, so he hangs out, and he actually builds a Fort Necessity. And he awaits reinforcements from Virginia. They never show. And so his entire command is surrounded and captured, and he has to basically sign these really embarrassing terms of surrender. One of the terms of which stipulates that Washington assassinated Jumonville. Right? He had to read that on a piece of paper and sign it in exchange for his life. And it's something that he would go down the rest of his life vehemently denying that had happened, that he had had any involvement in it, and so forth. And it taught him a very valuable lesson that he would apply during the Revolution. Like, yes, territory is one thing and holding a position is all well and good, but if you get taken off the board, your cause is done. And it's why Washington is so cautious, and why, even though he actually loses a ton of battles, he never lets his army become enveloped and captured the way it was at Fort Necessity. That loss was a huge lesson for him. Okay, so here we go. Oh my gosh, they didn't even try! Fort Duquesne belongs to the British! Let's see, we should name it. We should rename it. Let's name it something fun, like Fort Pitt. And maybe someday they'll build a city there. We'll call it Pittsburgh. Yeah, that's the ticket. So Fort Duquesne has fallen. Washington is... alright, you know what? He could probably use a unit of those natives that he was talking about. Later in life, he'll get a rather unsavory title from the natives. They'll call him Town Destroyer. Not exactly fun. But, you know, for now, let's get some natives into his army. And you know what? William Johnson hasn't suffered any casualties. Fort Duquesne is his. We're gonna step off and go get the Fort Niagara. March. Oh, it's so badly defended. Let's besiege it.
Settlement under siege.
Maybe they'll agree to a peaceful surrender. They might be willing to take terms. Otherwise, I'm just going to storm the fort. Demon G says, I wish they'd make another Rifle Line era game. Fall of the Samurai was a long time ago at this point. Yes, and actually, it's so funny because I was just talking to Jurgens about this earlier today, because all the systems exist, right? They have this game, and there's so much else that Black Powder era gaming that you could do with this system. I mean, the American Civil War is screaming for it. You've got the British and the French in Crimea. Warhammer 2 has enough guns in it as it is. Easy to just focus on that. You know, it's why I play the dwarves. You give me a nice line of stinky dwarves with their lead belchers and all their stuff, and, you know, I feel like I'm playing a, a Black Powder simulation. Except the... I wonder who that makes the gobos. Let's not speculate. Let's not speculate now. Alright, here we go. Keep giving me those government buildings. And... Alright, will you guys take terms? They refuse the surrender. Alright, well then I'm just gonna continue the siege and let you guys starve to death. Except there are also armored knights. Right, yes. You have it's the Holy Roman Empire versus like medieval Britain versus Ratmen. You know, it's fine. It's fine. Love that game so much. Right, but the potential to do another Black Powder game, you know, there's so much. I mean, the whole era of revolutions in Latin America. Why are there not more games for that? Right? You're one of these countries like, Simon Bolivar and Gran Colombia throwing off the Spanish. Why does that not have its own game? Right? The golden age of piracy. I mean, I'll play Sid Meier's Pirates. I do it till my eyes bleed. I love that game. But, like, it feels like they're really missing something. And I don't want them to just give me Empire 2 Total War. Like, sometimes it's okay to not beat a franchise to death. But I wish they would come back to this system because there's so much they could do. All right, anyway, wow, what have we got here? All right, so we're besieging Fort Niagara. There's a little village in between. Oh, I've got an elevated defensive position. This is beautiful. All right. Give me my artillery. William Pitt's guns are going to get set up here. And, shoot, I don't have anything other than solid shot. No bursting shell. No shell. No canister. That's not great. Alright, yeah, you guys fall back there. Alright, let's stack up units over here. And once the fight starts, I'll actually have them fan out properly. You're good there. Let's stack up some regulars behind. Fill in as needed. Let's get some more of you over here. Now it looks like there's a couple ways they could get up the rocks, but I think my militia is equal to the task. Just this camera. God, these controls are so fluid. I do love this game. Yeah. Nice militia line there atop the cliffs, so anyone who comes up at me is going to get it in the face. And let's have my British cavalry outside. But William Johnson, why don't you stay in the formation for now? Alright. Now, first thing that has got to happen is you guys have got to stretch out. And my ranging skirmishers, why don't you guys come out and just make sure no one gets around my flanks. I would do that also. Right, yeah, see? Like, just so much. Such wasted potential. Hold on, I tilted the camera. I can't see. There we go. Alright, who's where? What do we got here? French, the 3rd Light Horse, Colonial Cavalry, 14th Regiment of Foot, French Marines. Jeez. Alright, this is no joke. Ooh, the 8th Regiment of Artillery, huh? Maybe I should focus on blasting them to pieces. What do we got here? Firelock Armed Citizenry, so that's basically French militia. I got French pikemen! Alright. Let's get to stepping. No rush, guys, but I do want to be able to try and flank those guns if I can. Alright, what do you guys got for me, artillery? What are you shooting at these days? Doesn't look like you're shooting at anybody. Oh, there we go. Let's start slinging some lead. Yeah. You know what? I see Frenchmen coming right up the center of town. Like, why not just shoot at them? Haha! There we go. Now we're getting started. So, yep, thanks to George Washington, the French and Indian War, which is what we call it here, though we're starting to call it more by what they call it in Europe, which was the 7 Years' War. Although I've never been quite satisfied with that title because it doesn't last 7 years. It lasts 9 years here in the colonies. But it is a world war. It is the British and the French having it out, and it is one of the most stunningly complete strategic victories that the British Empire will ever win. And it is directly responsible for the American Revolution. Like the fact that they go from 1763 securing all of basically mainland North America, absolutely humiliating the French, and then 20 years later they are signing the peace treaty that gives up all claims to the 13 colonies. I mean, it's just what an absolute reversal. It's just an incredibly stunning trajectory. Alright, so we got armed citizenry. Seems like they're, I don't know what on earth they're trying to do. Tell you what, you keep shooting at them. You cross streams, shoot at them. You, I don't know what you're doing. What is this? 14th Regiment of Foot, shoot at them. I really wish there was like a building I could anchor my flank with here. Something I could climb inside. Yeah, fill the gap between these buildings and just provide another thing to shoot at here. Round shot bounces, and bouncing cannonballs are like the death of enemy soldiers. Alright. Who's coming where? These guys are coming up the middle. Fortunately, I got an answer for that. You guys deploy... Whoa. You guys deploy real thin-like. Nice line behind the artillery. And why don't actually you two come over this way? That's not elegant. One of you. That's better. Form a firing line that faces that direction. And actually, I'm going to give you guys discretion. Shoot at whoever you want. Oh, good. Everyone's gone. Go, you. Attack that artillery. Oh, the enemy general is dead! That bodes so badly for the rest of them. Alright, those French pikemen are trying to get up the cliffs, but as predicted, my militia were equal to the task. I'd love to see it. Drive them off. Where's my 2nd Regiment of Horse? There it is. One last ride. Here we go. Go! Get there! Those guns are unprotected! Get them! No, hit the monument! Just tear it down! That's what we do with monuments these days. Watching your general run directly into enemy oncoming fire and die is pretty demoralizing, right? It's almost like your soldiers don't like that. If he's not careful with his own life, he's not going to be careful with yours. Oh, gosh. Again, you hate to see it, but that was a thing of beauty. 19 casualties! William Johnson, you are a masterpiece. I have captured the correct city.
You have successfully captured Fort Niagara.
I have successfully
The Ohio
captured
Valley
Fort
is now firmly
Niagara.
under British control. However, the war against the French has now escalated across the entire 13 colonies.
Oh
And
my.
it's not going well for the British.
That is true.
must do
The
what
war
you
starts
can to
very
help them
badly for
overcome
the
the French.
British. Objective dockyard. Ugh. So actually, I need to cancel that, refund that, because I'm going to need warships if I'm going to take on the French. Okay, Fort Duquesne's looking good. Peasant Farm is good. Definitely going to get me that fur.
The majority of your faction's income is generated
Repair. And 89 gold to repair that army. That's just ridiculous. Alright, how's Washington's command coming? Because I do want to get him into the fight. Oh, it's getting better. It's getting better. Let's give him some artillery, for sure. And he could probably use a regiment or two of actual foot. Well, okay, a regiment, since I'm out of money. George the First, who actually couldn't speak English. Oh, is he gonna go burn down my fur trading post? That French bastard. Oh,
You currently have an active mission to construct a dockyard.
I'm working on it. Gosh. Bossy lady. Yeah, give me the shipyard, which I can promote to a dockyard, and that'll give me the warships I need to do this. Let's get that other regiment of foot queued up. And now... Fort Oswego. Unprotected. But for now, William Pitt has got to explain something to this guy. Oh, no, it's not unprotected. That is an army. Okay. We show each other our swords, and then we fight. Alright, I think I can pretty safely auto-resolve this.
None shall defeat us.
Alright, yeah. Get out of here.
Men, forward. Forward.
Alright, now I actually do, though, have to, There we go. Let's, actually recruit the units I need. And the Catholic inhabitants of the Algonquin territory do not like me. Shocker. Ugh. Fine.
At the ready.
Ugh. Fine. Cancel that. I'll do it next turn. For now, it's more important that I get this guy up to speed. Jeez, my militia units took a pounding in that fight. Maybe I shouldn't have auto-calced it, because apparently the computer's an idiot.
The ruling classes have written a letter of demands to your national leader as they are unhappy with the current government.
Oh, are they?
Failure to comply will lead to an organized rebellion against...
Alright, let's take a look now. Yeah, how do you like that repression from garrison forces? Talk to me about problems. I'll just straight up deal with you. Joseph Delancey is looking a little rough. Alright, you know what, Washington, you got enough to get started. You're gonna head on up. Yeah, you're gonna head on up.
Immediately.
Oh gosh, you got to pick up the pace, Washington. There we go. That's the beginning of a continental army, a colonial army, I should say. So yeah, the war starts up super rough for the British. Basically, General Braddock arrives. He's the commander-in-chief of general-in-chief, I should say, of forces. He's got his royal commission, he's got a cool sash, and he almost immediately clashes with the colonies over issues of monies and soldiers. The colonies are actually all levying all their own soldiers for the war, but as far as the British are concerned, they're country bumpkins. Regular army officers are going to outrank militia officers, regardless of rank, which it drives the colonials insane. So you've got like British ensigns ordering, Pennsylvania colonels around. That just it really bothers. So much so that Washington, he's so personally embarrassed. He hates the fact that he's a lieutenant colonel in the Virginia militia. And so he actually doesn't fight with the Virginia. He goes and he volunteers to go with Braddock.
Sir.
Because at least then he's part of the British Army. Yeah, kill these guys. Why are you not wiping them out? How on earth are they still alive? So he's basically for Braddock what Hamilton and Lawrence will be for Washington during the Revolution. Like he's a glorified message boy.
Stationed at this fort. As things stand, it could easily be occupied by an enemy army.
There we go.
We are mighty and unbowed.
Finish them off. Done with them.
Forward.
So Braddock sets out for Fort Duquesne, as you saw in the little intro video there. 1,500 men, basically gets them almost all killed. French soldiers have control over the most important river valleys in New York and Ohio, and so they're and they have the lakes. So they're like moving forces around at record speed, sailing down the St. Lawrence, and then whipping them down. Lake George and the Great and Lake Champlain. And meanwhile, the British are like hauling everything by hand overland, and they're like, this sucks. This is just terrible. And it's rough. The governor of Nova Scotia expels the Acadian people from his territory. He basically is like, nope, get out. I don't want you here. Set-piece battles really bore the Native Americans, who focused their warfare much more on sort of taking captives for the purposes of like ransom and taking personal prizes. And they don't really get that when they're fighting alongside the Europeans. Like the Europeans want to, I have this position and I will advance on that position, and once I have driven off the enemy, I have won the day. And the natives are like, dude, when am I going to get to go through that guy's like pockets? I want to take his stuff. Like, I won. That's the point here. And this clash and this sort of miscommunication culminates at Fort William Henry when Montcalm comes down from Fort Carillon and takes it. So that's Albany. Excuse me, I don't know where I'm pointing here. But comes down and takes it. And when the garrison is basically told, like, okay, like, you can go, the natives go, oh, to heck with that, and start harassing the retreating soldiers. They're trapped to the point that it turns into an absolute massacre. And when this gets out, it produces a fierce anti-native backlash. Oh, colonial cavalry. That's what Washington's army is missing. So let's get some of that. He's got, and I still don't have any of those regulars I had been asking for. Let's get those going. So yeah, the massacre at Fort William Henry, a cultural miscommunication, and just a difference of opinion on the purpose of, how you fight wars. All right, the French army didn't march out of Oswego, which means I'm pretty sure I'm going to take it.
Siege works
Oh,
underway.
who didn't get reinforced? Oh, a couple guys didn't. All right, well, Washington's looking great. Let's get another regiment of foot going for him. Yeah, Washington's command's looking pretty good. Oh! They didn't march out of the fort. The fort had to surrender. This is beautiful. And now I can finally finish reinforcing things. My mission was to construct a dockyard, and I did that. What am I supposed to do here? Take the city of Louisbourg and construct a ship. Oh, right. I have to start building a colonial navy because the French have squadrons in the area. Ugh. Naval recruitment. Fifth rate. Fifth rate. Fifth rate. Fifth rate. Fifth rate. Fifth rate. Just spend every dime you have on warships for the British Navy. So back home, 1760, things turn around for the British. First off, they get William Pitt in as Prime Minister. He is much better in how he handles the colonial assemblies. He actually asks them for things rather than just demanding that they give them over the way that Braddock had done things. It really eases the tensions. There is an incredibly important naval battle that will take place at Quiberon Bay, which will basically mean that the French will stop sending reinforcements over to the Western Theater, whereas the British just overcommit. They will send a ton more resources to this theater than the French will. Mission successful. Recruit a unit. I've successfully completed that mission and reaped the rewards. Now I have to capture that city. Haha! The beginnings of a colonial Virginia Navy are shaping up. Now I know there's a couple weak French squadrons floating about, but there's also a very powerful French Navy somewhere that I have not yet located, and I'm not eager to come across.
Raise the flag!
Here we go. There's Fort William Henry. Path has been blocked.
You are about
Whoa,
to
whoa, whoa,
launch
whoa,
an
whoa, whoa.
attack on a trusted ally.
Yeah, I did
Once
that
it
wrong.
becomes common knowledge that your word means little, you may find it difficult
Stop,
to make deals.
stop. It's fine. It's just a misclick. It happens. How we doing here? Da 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 da. I think I could really do with a couple more people in that army. Let's round it out. Is there anything to upgrade? Everything seems like
Colonial
it's maxed out.
plantations provide
I really need to find a way to turn down all this advice, because I need some, but I don't need this much. Any other, like, docks I can work with? Nope. Okay. So, one of the things that this leaves out is that right now there's a fight raging on mainland Europe. There is a fight raging in basically India. There is a fight raging in the Caribbean. Spain ends up coming in on the French side, but too late. And so the British basically just start grabbing territories from them in the Caribbean. When the war's over, 1763, it's one of the just largest transfers of land in this century. You have all of French Canada and French Louisiana signed over to the British. On the eastern side of the Mississippi, at least. Like, let's be clear, there's still a huge chunk of Louisiana territory, but everything east of the Mississippi basically becomes British. And in exchange, they give up a bunch of the sugar islands and sort of other profitable territories that they had seized in the Caribbean. Why? Peace in our time, basically. They envision having North America as being the rock that will keep their empire stable. Because if you don't have borders with the French, you don't have things like, I don't know, a lieutenant colonel from the Virginia militia wandering out and chopping open some guy's head and playing with his brain. Right? So if we don't have Frenchmen in North America, we will not have renewed conflict with them. By the way, Canada sucks in terms of the money it produces in this era. I think it was all of Canada amounted to something like 3,000 pounds a year in profit from like the fur trade. One of the sugar islands that they gave back, like Martinique, would produce in excess of £1 million annually. And they trade those in the peace negotiations so that they can have Canada, right? Not because it was wealthy, but because they thought this is the thing that's going to keep us safe in the future. The only problem with that mindset is that after this war, the British are broke, and that is going to have different consequences. All right, so let's see here. Oh, all right. Oh, okay. I got a little bit of a cliff face here that I can use to keep them from getting at me. Nice. Let's get my regulars spaced out. Oh, I can do better than that. Oh, wait, maybe not. What is that? It's that tree? Downed tree. Alright. On my flanks, I want my rangers. Pitt is not here. That's William Johnson. Wrong guy. Let's get some militia behind the artillery just in case they charge it, since I don't have any canister. And then a little other colonial militia will just float on the flanks and reinforce as needed. They're attacking me, so I'm feeling pretty good here about this. Yep, alright. That's them. Got Frenchmen here. I lost you at Canada Sucks. Uh-oh. Did my mic cut out, or is that just, am I back? Just their income. You go, okay. Oof. Oh, you're welcome to like Canada. I have nothing against it. It just, in terms of their income, they're just... there's no competition. They just can't. They can't compete. I mean, the French, sugar islands in the Caribbean are just make a fortune for their respective empires. Where are these tricksy devils? You know what? Militia, get in the building. Stone buildings make great defensive choke points. So you guys get up there. You can. What are they? What are these rascals up to? Whoa! Whoa! French artillery. Gosh, you scared me. I thought maybe like my mic had cut out and I've just been talking to no one this whole time. How terrible. Right? Someone couldn't hear the things I have to say. I'm important. I have important things to say. Great snacks. You know, I love me some poutine. I don't eat it as much anymore because, I'm really trying to not overdo it on the carbs these days, but gosh, some French fries and gravy with a little cheese curds mixed in there. Oh, maybe that can be my treat after I hit my next goal. I'm striving for 190. It's going to be 50 pounds total loss since I started this, so maybe that can be my... Those French artillery are special. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what they're thinking, because I'm pretty sure they're blasting the side of their own fort while they're... So what do we got here? 24 pounders. Oh, nope, I think I'm the one hitting the fort. 24 pounders, only one of which has a clear line of sight. And there it goes! Alright, so far the cannons aren't really doing much damage to each other. Oh, thank you. That's very, that's nice. It's, I like where I've gotten to so far. I'm hoping I can keep going. At my lowest, I was within 3 pounds of my goal, but then, I ate things and drank delicious drinks. The kinds of girly drinks that Dan would appreciate. Quarantine has killed you. I feel that 100%. For me, it's actually been the exact opposite. I don't eat out anymore, so I'm able to really control exactly what goes into my body, and I've been able to have some real success with that. But I also totally understand. I know people, they've been stress eating. You got to get through the day. Poor day 9. Freaking Sean Plott said he gained something like 20 pounds in a month and a half. Like, he's just... Between the moving and the quarantine, it's not been great for him. God, French, this is going to take the rest of our lives. Get to it already. Come closer so that I can finish you off. This is what you get when you sally out just much more sedentary comparatively. And that's, that's also it. Like, if you're used to going outside, if you're used to a gym routine, you can't. And then things that you used to be able to get away with, not so much. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is that? It is the General's bodyguard. Let's see if we can snipe this guy just clean out of the water. Angle the guns. Let's get it going here, fellas. That's it, load it. And off, whoa! Off go the shots. Oh my gosh, I smashed him. Much more sedentary. Sorry, I glanced over at the chat and just reread the very last sentence out loud again. Alright, there's the Frenchman. Come on. Cannonball. Give me a great shot. Give me something I can clip and show off as a testament to my artillery skill. Oh, there! Oh, gosh, some Frenchmen! Uh-oh. Uh-oh, the horses are moving. Is anyone else even engaged, or is this just an artillery duel at this point? Nope, just still artillery. Oh, gosh, he's down to half his strength. Please actually hit the general, though. It's a little weird when the horses' tails all move in sync. That's like, it's actually a little unnerving when they'll like all twitch at the same time. Alright, alright. Oh! Oh, that was awful! He's down to 1/4 strength. Just finish off the French general and we can all go home. There'll be peace in our time. Wow, alright. How am I doing? Have I even suffered a single casualty? I shouldn't ask questions like that. Ooh, I have. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Native irregulars showed up on the flanks. My guys are sort of fighting back, I guess. There we go. This is what I get for not paying too much attention to things that don't matter. Nope, 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 nope. Stop slinging lead at him. That general's long gone. Refocus. There you go. Refocus on the guys coming up close. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Got just French Marines stacked up for days. What I wouldn't give for some canister shot. Oh, armed citizenry. So some French pikemen are coming in. But my guys here are getting them. My colonial rangers have been putting shots into them. Alright, come on. Drive them off! And this defensive position is lovely, but you need to take like 2 steps forward and get in range. There you go. Were you born blind? Shoot the men! They're right there and they're in range! Yeah, now we're talking. Some Firelock civilians. Let's finish them off. Whoa! They are coming in. Coming in for the real deal. Big old French bear hug. Yep, I don't blame you, guns, for backing off. Alright, militia. Step to it. Protect the guns! Yeah, that's what I thought. These white coats don't want it with me. Alright, alright, well hold on now. Hold on, colonials. Have some discipline, for God's sakes. Reform the line. And you, reman your guns. Rangers, get back on the flanks. Oh gosh, you guys are all... You're chasing! I mean, I know that's what I told you to do, but still. Anticipate my needs. Just be smarter, computer. Back in formation. You men, get your guns back up and running. Oh my gosh, the quarter of that fort has just seen so many better days. Alright, that's it. We're gonna wrap this up. Ah, hurry! Get in position! The native musketmen are right there! I mean, the nice thing is I'll be able to get right up on this artillery without them doing anything about it. Get over there. Get behind them. going on the flanks? He's backing off. French seem like they're reforming a little bit. Coming back. Yeah, yeah. Nice volleys. Keep them back. Pick up the pace, cavalry. I know you can do it. Gosh, they're right in front of you. Just blast them. Stop shooting at that guy. Shoot them instead. Actually, shoot them. These guys are like a foot in front of you. Oh, actually, that hill is not ideally placed. Oh, I did not think this out. This line of sight is terrible. I have to wait for them to basically crest that hill before I can even hit them. Where the heck are you men going? No one told you to do anything. Got around the flanks. Got around the fort. What's left of it? Jeez. Oh, where are you going with those caissons? You can't get them. You can't get them to safety. I'm not going to let that happen. There we go. Here we go. Looks like France is back on the menu, boys. Alright, sorry. I'll stop. Alright, let's see what's going on over here. Oh gosh. My men are walking right in front of my own guns, and if I remember correctly, the AI is not smart. They're about to blast my own troops to pieces. Yes, return to your original position. And do it quickly. And you men, don't you dare fire a single gun. Or I'll have your heads. You'll be breaking big rocks into little rocks in Barbados before you know it. Okay. Whew. They've cleared the line of fire. Now, shoot at anything that moves. Because for some reason, this battle is still going on. Go. Shoot. How many... come on, how has their morale just not broken yet? Their general fled like 20 years ago. He hasn't been seen in a decade. Oh, I'll give them this. They're brave. Like, I wouldn't keep coming back up here like this. That's it. Come on, withering volleys. Just keep tinging them. Oh gosh, they're getting ready to fire, or they're just standing. Nope, they're continuing to advance. Oh gosh. Ah, here it comes. Oh, gosh. Frenchmen, you're the worst. Yes, finally. Oh, take that, France. Eat it. Any interest in Troy Total War? 100% interest in Troy Total War. I can't freaking wait. I know the Saga titles have been okay. Like, Total War Britain didn't thrill a lot of people. I didn't actually spring for it. I've been enjoying the other stuff they've been doing too much. But I love ancient history. And mostly I love the fact that any ancient historian worth their salt is willing to admit straight up that, like, look, there's actually a lot we don't know and can never know. So anyone who's basically like, oh, well, this happened and we know that for a fact is like, meh, maybe. Oh, Leaky is back. Welcome back. Hey. Good to see you again. And so I really like what they're doing with it. I like the sort of approach that, like, look, this is the Bronze Age. We are working towards recreating the myths that made up the sort of things. So, like, okay, there's the legend of the Cyclops. We think we know where that comes from, but, like, what if we just had a really big guy who wore an elephant skull as a helmet, like, and had him beat up people? Like, all right, cool, I'll get behind that. Yeah, I know on Reddit it's getting dragged pretty hard, but I also just, and I say this, as someone who enjoys playing games, I think sometimes gamers just need something to be able to complain about. And I know I do it. A game isn't 100% what I wanted, so it's suddenly the worst thing ever. I am hoping it works. I'm excited to try it. So let's see. Leaky's asking, how does building work in this expansion? Construction, etc. Are there cities you can build lots of things in? So yes. So basically, this was a neat twist they did. I don't know if you played Empire at all or not, but basically, the province is quite large, and so it has a centralized city like the old style games. But then you also had, instead of building everything in the central city, you had little outposts scattered around the property that you would... Oh, okay. I played Empire. Wonderful. That you could then build in. And I kind of liked that. I liked that you could spread out and have, like, multiple constructions going simultaneously. It's my one complaint with, like, Rome is I feel like my construction is often quite slow because I can only really build one thing in a commandery at a time. But I also don't burn through my cash the way I did in this one. Because in this one, it's like, the main city has, a governor's mansion and a barracks and an artillery thing. And I'm upgrading them all simultaneously. And then I'm also building, my fur market. And like, oh crap, I bankrupted myself in one turn. And yes, this was like probably one of the last times that you had generalless armies. Because after this... I don't remember. I don't think it was possible in Rome 2, was it, to have an army without a general? Like, it had to be attached to someone. Oh, no. Yep, I think you're right, Demon. That makes more sense. Personally, for Warhammer, it works because that was the mechanic, right? You had to have a lord for your army on the tabletop, so I like that they translated that to it. I know some people were a little raw by it when it made the jump also to Three Kingdoms, but since I only play that game in romance mode, I don't hate it because, I've got these great heroes of basically, Chinese. They're practically mytho-historical, their exploits. It would feel almost weird to have just an ordinary Chinese army running around without, like, Cao Cao at the head or, Sun Ce or one of these guys. Oh, my navy's getting bigger! 2 more turns and I'll have a proper, decently sized army. This is 5th rates. Should I only build 5 5th rates? That seems right. No, I'll build 6. Don't be stupid. I love the 3K era for Troy. Yeah, I'm sure it'll probably be a small map. I mean, it's basically, the Mycenaeans, so like proto-Greece, and they had browbeat a coalition out of a lot of other city-states that would not have looked at themselves and been like, oh, you're Greek and I'm Greek and that means something. It's like, no, I'm Spartan or I'm, from Mycenae or I'm Crete, and like that means something. It would have been much more local. Versus Troy, and it's probably hinterlands and surrounding allies, so I imagine it's a pretty concise map. Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Sort of the coast of Greece, maybe, and some room in the Aegean, maybe, for some naval battles, and then sort of western Anatolia. You know what was actually a really fun board game that I would love to see properly adapted was Genesis. It was a GMT game. And it's like the ancient Hittites versus Egypt versus Assyria, and there's these minor kingdoms that can come into play, like Susa, and it was actually just a really fun Okay, conquer the ancient Mediterranean, like the ancient Near East. I mean, nothing, no real fancy systems that work. Just a classic smash and grab. Pure exploitation. And it works. It's fun, but it requires a good 6 people who are into that sort of game. The best I've ever really managed to do is to get like 3, and you can figure it out. But I love that time period. And I'll be honest, I'm going to turn on Brad Pitt's Troy. I'm going to listen to that soundtrack on repeat, and I'm going to say every cheesy line every single time something happens. I mean, it is... it's at once a great movie and a kind of terrible movie, and I am 100% here for it. And I am going to have that stuff on in the background as I play that game. I'm going to channel my inner Eric Bana and just, try and be as raspy and brooding as possible. I won't ask you to fight my war for me. You already have. To Troy! Alright, Washington's army's looking pretty good. Yeah, don't have a use for him yet, but he's still there hanging out in the Algonquin territory. Ooh, Fort Carillon, though. I probably should cut their taxes. Or actually, wait, you reminded me. This is the era where you don't have to have generals. I'm just going to build a couple militia to keep the peace while I'm gone. That's the ticket. And ditto here. Let's occupy Fort Oswego. Ooh. And just build some militia. That will keep them under proper control. While I march out to the tip here and take Louisbourg.
The ruling classes have written a letter of demands to your national leader.
It's on the same level as the Patriot. Oh God, the Patriot was a just disaster. Oh, what a nightmare that movie is. It has some interesting parts, and I love anything with Jason Isaacs in it. I won't lie. He's so great as the villain. He's just constantly chewing the scenery, but that movie is just cringeworthy. You know what? It is one of the only times I feel like we accurately get what, Age of Gunpowder artillery did. Like, it's not explosions. It's not shells bursting out of the ground. Like, solid shot is like getting hit in the chest with a train, right? It turns you into red mist. It rips off a limb. It takes off a head. Like... We do so much of like, oh, an artillery shell goes off, and then it explodes, because that's what we conceive of in the modern era, right? Bursting shells. Nah, they did a lot with solid shot. Right, it's a battering ram straight through a human body, 100%. And it was, it is neat to sort of see that. I don't know if that makes up for, however long that was, hours of Mel Gibson's moralizing tirades and all this, but that was a cool scene. Battle of which one? It basically shows like a combination of a couple Cowpens and geez, why can't I think of the name of the other one? I'm not appeasing anybody. Silence. The workers are rioting. Just keep recruiting militia. We'll get them under control. Family death torture porn. Yeah. And what kills me is they call it the Patriot, but like he doesn't join the cause out of any sort of patriotic duty. It's straight up like revenge fantasy. Like they hurt his children, so he will hurt them.
Command cease.
All right. Fort Beaujeu in Acadia. Siege it. And keep looking for the French fleet while you're at it. I can't fight the full French fleet, but if I see any of their little pesky squadrons, I can take them down. I mean, let's be honest. It was basically Braveheart, the sequel, And at no point did British soldiers ever burn to death colonials in a church. That was just jaw-dropping. That was no basis in reality whatsoever. Yep. Oh, they didn't sally out. Will they give up if I offer them terms? They refused. All right, well, then we're doing this. See if I can besiege their or not besiege, excuse me, blockade their port. Where is the French? Oh,
Still ship
oh, a tiny French squadron. Get in there. Get in there. Yeah. Let's keep them locked up. All right. They're not thrilled. They're out doing just fine. And Washington's hanging out in Oswego. The whole scene where he melts down his miniatures is traumatizing. Yep, I clutched my my Warhammer models a little closer that day. Okay, wait, here we go. Hold on. They didn't sally forth. Wow. All right. Well, then Fort Beaujeu is mine, and the road to Louisbourg is open.
ready for battle.
Because that city was actually a massive fortress city, and it controlled the waterways leading to the mouth of the St. Lawrence River. Like, if you wanted to strike at Quebec or Montreal, that city had to fall first. And we're going to siege it.
Under siege.
If they're worth assault, they will strike back, but I'm not super impressed. I'm not impressed. To be fair, I don't think I tweaked the difficulty any, so it's probably set at the basic normal. So this is not a how-to tutorial for anyone who wants to get super good. This is this is mediocre at best.
Enemy fleet.
Ugh. All right, fine. Wow, that's a lot of cavalry. Oh my gosh, it's 655 dudes though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Whoa! I lost a unit of colonial guys along the way. When did that happen? Don't remember that. Oh, anyway. Here we go. French are going to sail out, or sally forth, excuse me. They're not sailing anywhere. I don't even know where the French Navy is. What is it? Oh, it's about 10 after. I think I'll take this city, which should open up the next phase of the French and Indian War, and I'll probably have to call it a night. But I will definitely finish this campaign because it's going so well, and a young George Washington still has to redeem himself for the catastrophe of Fort Necessity. So, all right, so let's see. The French are going to be sallying out of there. Do I have any terrain I can use to my advantage? Meh, not really. Ooh, I take that back. Fortified cliff face. Now we're talking. Okay. Let's get the artillery up here. They're not going to be any good straight down, but anything that has to approach me is going to have to deal with that. Because there's no way anyone's scaling up that. That's beautiful. Alright, my usual thing. We're going to put half the foot on the right. We'll send half the foot to the left. Because again, if they want to get to me, they got to come right through here. So let's get this other group going. Ah, it's out of my deployment zone. That's fine. I'll deploy back here and I'll just get up there to it. Ditto with you guys. And you can deploy out here on the right. You're kind of already in position. And one of you, you'll put you here. I got plans for you. Who are you? Oh, right. I haven't used you yet. We'll keep you safe by the guns. Okay. Here we go. There. Anyone who wants to use that road is going to have some real nasty fire raining down on them. Whoa! Oh gosh, the artillery barrage has started, huh? Oh. There's their guns. What are these? 24-pounders. Alright. Ah, actually, it's not a bad spot. They got a nice elevated position. That hill definitely commands this one. I got a better angle from up there. Still, if they want to come at me. Step out to the right. My colonial cavalry. I don't even know what to have them do. Can I get up around here? Whoa, that ripple effect on the cliffs is... It's like there's something moving in there. The Shai Halud. Actually, you know what? I might send my cavalry around the outside. There's this little pathway up the back. If I can get behind that artillery piece, I can take it out easy. Meanwhile, what on earth are the French doing? They got a bunch of guns inside their fort. Here come their other guys. So what do we have? Armed citizen. Firelock armed citizen. Oh, there's the general! Well, they gotta come to me, so I'm in no rush to move. But we can pick up the pace here. So they're sending out like a fraction of their force here to face me. Because the rest is all cavalry and artillery, like... Alright, weirdos. Fifth Light Horse. Ooh, they've taken some casualties. Oh, gosh! This is what I get for not paying attention. Nope, 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 nope. No reason to push a bad position. Fall back. Let these guys cover you. That's what I get for not paying attention. General's bodyguard. Let's see if we can start a panic. There you go. Volley fire. Yeah! That's more like it. Oh, that was gorgeous. Beautiful volleys. Alright, so here comes some irregulars. Ouch. I do not like that I lost that many of my cavalry, though. Should have been paying attention. Did this to myself. Enemy general killed. They're coming at me, but my guys are ready. The pikemen are retreating. This is all to the good. Gosh, those shells are flying, though. I don't like that. You're going to take a couple steps forward. You're making choices, and I don't agree with them. There we go. Overwhelming fire. That's what we're trying to get. Oh, there's a different general. Pour it in. Pour it in. Nice and thick. Drive them off. Good. My gosh, how are they still here? Ugh. Tried to sneak some pikemen on my flank. I don't like that. Fortunately, they're running scared, which is good. Move the line up. Swing it around some more. Advance. Get them in range. Give them one good volley. Send them running. Come on. What on earth are you doing? Hold your ranks where I tell you to hold them. Here comes the cavalry. Literally. Oh, they finally managed to get their guns out the front door. Shock. Utterly shocked. Alright, everything's good. Just make sure you get some good volleys into these guys as they charge. Break their morale. Don't let them get up close. Keep breaking them. Oh, jeez. Not a single one made it to my lines. The charge of the light brigade there. Good heavens. Reman the guns. Get back there. Fall back. Alright. Seems like they got this well under control. Oh man, we blasted that up. What happened up here? I had no idea my guns were doing that kind of damage. Jeez. Alright, then discretionary fire. You guys seem to know what you're doing. Pour it into them. Oh, there's still more French cavalry? These guys are the worst. Oh, there goes one of their guns. Oh, and a caisson! Oh, and then apparently he decided to die at the last second. Poor horses. What did they ever do? Just happened to be wrong place, wrong time. Sling and lead at me. I don't like it. Still, I can withstand it. Alright. Give him a volley. Teach these cavalrymen a thing or two about charging fixed positions. Beautiful. Alright, now it's just an artillery duel till these guys break and run. Molieres, long since dead. Ah, the angle is not ideal. Maybe I should just send cavalry up there to deal with it. Run them down! Chop them to pieces! No rest for the wicked! Ah, there we go. You know what? Just finish off that last unit for me, for good measure. Don't let anything get away. My tea was really good tonight. Oof, that took a little longer than I thought it would, but that's okay. Yeah. Ugh, that's lopsided. Capture the city. It was done. Oh, and there goes the expansion. Now the whole map is in play. So to finish the French and Indian War, I'm going to have to take Montreal and Quebec. Which this is a good use now for Washington to get his hands dirty and really get moving. I see a French army, and I see Huron French allies who need to be incorporated into this growing colonial venture of ours. All right. And Louisbourg, all mine. Reinforce. Oh boy. Whoa! Okay, so there is a French fleet. Ha ha ha. Sloop, brig, sloop, brig. Okay, so not anything particularly powerful, but it's a lot of ships, and those ships will add up, so let us head back because we need more. We need more ships if we are going to stand up to that. Let's get some more fifth rates. That's being repaired. That's good. Washington can... Actually, that's not bad.
There are currently no troops stationed at this fort.
Shh. Washington will head for Detroit.
For battle.
The defenses at Fort Niagara are more than enough for whatever this guy's doing. Okay. This is good shape. I feel like I'm in a good position to come back, finish the French and Indian War, and then I can actually get on to the American Revolution. But we got to win this first. So, all right. Seven years war in 9 years. All right. Oh, gosh, I actually forgot how much I enjoy this game. I really, really do. It's so much fun. It really had such good systems. So, all right, that's it for tonight. I am going to be back next week with some more Empire Total War. And then after that, I think I actually do have to get back to Quest for Glory because it is time to head to Tarna for one of the most visually beautiful entries in the whole series. And that is Quest for Glory 3. So, thanks so much for popping in tonight. I hope you all have a wonderful night and are staying safe and sane during quarantine. And I will see you all next week.